Okay, this is CAD 212 on March 31st. Today in class, we're going to be going over some previous projects as examples for everybody, and then also going over sweeps and reveals on walls. So this project was done by a student last semester, and we all started out with the same floor plan, same project. And you can see how this one has evolved. This is what we're going to be doing today, adding these sweeps on here so you can add some decorative elements like this. And then later on in this semester, we're going to do this other stuff right here. And on Monday, we're going to talk about adding this curtain wall. But I just wanted to give you an idea of what some of the changes were, some of the stuff that's possible. We're going to be adding a large site plan this time, some more advanced site stuff. We're going to be doing a parking lot, getting that laid out. You can see here, this element right here, this is the curtain wall that I was talking about. And this is actually, this is an error. This is probably like the one error that he had on here, that this is still on there. But it's a good set of plans. We're going to be learning how to create a standing seam metal roof and dormers, such as here. These are his floor plans. I'll give you some ideas.
Will these files be on Canvas?
No. But I am recording it, but I'm not going to leave his files on Canvas. But these give you a really good idea how we want things laid out and things like that. These are some, we haven't learned how to do section views yet, so we're going to do section views. And then we're going to do interiors as well, and a room usage. So all this stuff we're going to learn how to do. That's why I want to kind of give you the time to get this other stuff knocked out. Here we're going to have the interior renderings. And that's the end of his. But all this stuff we're going to have time to get knocked out and finished. I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what we're looking for visually. And here, once again, there was a lot of extra work done on this project, but I want to give you some ideas of what you can do to get this finished. Any questions about this, y'all? All right, let's jump into today's lecture. We're just going to learn how to do sweeps and reveals. This stuff right here around the exterior. You can use it on the interior, but usually I just kind of focus on the exterior. But you can kind of play with it and design it how you want to when we get there. All right, let's go ahead and jump into today's lecture. All right, this is whose ever building I was using last time. So I'm just going to use this one again as the way to talk about today's class. All right, I do want to flip these walls around so they're facing the right direction. All right, so how we add sweeps and reveals, we add those to the current walls that we have, or we can create new walls. So if we just wanted to do, an additional block face around the entire building, what I could do is grab this wall right here, the one that I currently have, and hit edit type. Now when I add this to this wall, it's going to make it, I could either duplicate and rename it one with, let's do that, duplicate. Let's do this one with sweep. Now, in this bottom left-hand corner, you want to hit preview. So you see what this wall looks like. This is a top view, our brick, our CMU, and our, excuse me, our sheetrock. We're going to change this to a section view, so it's kind of a side view instead of a top view. And down here, under this section right here, you'll notice where you can modify the vertical structure. Here is where we add sweeps and reveals. So sweeps are in addition to the outside, and reveals kind of like indent into the wall. So we'll do an example of each of those. So if we want to add a sweep, we'll just click on that. And we're going to do a load profile. So we're going to go down to profiles. Vision profiles. And these are just some different ideas that you can use as we go through here. You'll notice some other ones. Let me try this one. That one's not working. All right, let's try this. I can change the material here. I'm going to use my favorite garish color, this one, so you can see it. Here's where we set the distance from the base. If I want this just 2 feet up, I put 2 feet. And if we hit apply, we can see how that sets right there. So it's going to run around the entire circumference of the building. So let's hit OK, hit OK, and OK all the way out of that. Jump to 3D. So there we can see that we have our stripe just in that front part. If we click on this wall, we'll notice that this one is the exterior wall RM. And this one is the exterior wall with sweeps. If we wanted to add sweeps to all the rest of the walls, we'd have to change them all to that different wall type. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to jump back to level 1. I'm going to select these other walls. Hold down the control button. Oops, wrong thing. Damn. All right, got them now. Now we'll change from this wall type to the one with the sweep. And now I'll jump back to 3D. And you'll see that's on all of the exterior walls now. As you get into more advanced Revit, there's ways that you can create your own sweeps and reveals, have that profile of them, how you want them to look. We don't do that in the intro class. We just want to get you kind of up and running how we want that to look. But you can create your own profile, which is the way this looks right here, which is kind of fun. We don't have to go to that extent this time, just so you have like 1 or 2 sweeps and reveals kind of worked into your design. So let's do that again. Let's start with this. Let's go back to floor plan view. let's just do this wall now. And go into edit type. I'm going to duplicate just so I have it on just on this one again. I have with sweep and reveal. Go into edit again. And this time I'm going to go down to reveals. And we'll just hit add. And use this shape that they already have in here. I'll just do one brick. Say this distance I want to be, so just 3 foot. And I don't have to pick a material because it's not actually creating anything, it's kind of taking away. So if when I hit apply, oops, it's not going to be this thick, it's just going to be this part that's indented in here. This is just an example of how if I inset it all the way, it could be this big, but I just want it to be inset there, and that's the default. So let's hit OK. OK all the way out of this. Let's jump to 3D. Ooh. Where did I put that? So I'm going to go change that from 3 foot to 2 space 6. Okay. That is not working. Oh. Well, let's try that again. Something's going wrong. All right, I'm click on this wall, hit type. I'm just going to use this same wall so it works on all the ones that I already have. I'm not going to duplicate or rename it. I'm just going to go to edit, the reveals. Let's add a new one. Use this preloaded one. Let's make it bigger so it looks more obvious. Let's set this at 5 foot. And hit OK. Okay. Okay. There it is. Voila. Not sure what happened with that. I'll have to go back and check that other one, but this is what we're aiming for. I have this little inset right in here. Now we see this little break just because of the way that the window is set. So something like that we would go back and fix separately. But for the model, what we need it to do is fine right now. So don't worry about that. So here we've just added a what we call a sweep and then a reveal, where it adds a piece of material on the outside and it adds a piece. It takes away a section of it and just kind of gives your building a little bit more interest instead of that just flat facade. And then you can have those laid out anywhere you want. Let's just do one more sweep. Let's do it on this one. Let's go into edit type. We'll just continue adding to that same one. Remember, if I wanted to just do on one face, I would do duplicate and rename. So I'll do one more here, and we'll add another sweep. We'll add one. I'll add this. Another large piece here. I'm going to set this at 10 feet. Let's change that material. Nothing really interesting there. Just make it wood so it stands out separate from the other one. When I did that, it's going to pop up right there. Okay. Okay, all the way out of that. And then it's going to add that piece right there. Of course, when we come back and we make that stone or something like that, it does make it a little bit more interesting. And that's why I showed you that other example, how those colors kind of match his design work, how they kind of go together well. But this is actually a pretty good place to kind of leave this piece because it kind of divides the building pretty nicely. I might make it a little bit smaller. You can go back and do that just by, editing it again. Edit type, sweeps. This one is 3 bricks. If you change that to 2 bricks, you can change it to 2. Hit OK. Notice how that changed there. Okay. So you can edit it really easily. You don't have to do another one. It's up to you if you do or you don't. But I want you to start incorporating these couple of ideas into your drawing, into your building, how you want that to look. It's just another way to add an interesting design element to the building. Any questions, y'all? Okay, let me check one last thing before we drop. Pause share screen.